God, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch out flip, watch out whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist.
Downtown between Brush Street and I-375. That's where we're located in the heart of Detroit at Ford Field, which first opened back in 2002. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with Phillip Rivers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready, blue 60.
Watch the out, watch the out.
A look at Kerryon Johnson, second-year man out of Auburn. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you.
From the gun, here's Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
40 got.
49 to Mike, 49 to Mike.
Stafford. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. But it'll be 2nd down.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
3 bucks.
Here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 35. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
On second and 12, Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's third and short.
22. 4 down. Check. 4 down. Hey, red. You draw forfeit. 51.
Now Stafford letting one go deep for the into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Nasir Adderley, the rookie from Delaware. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line. But no doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Watch the safety crane.
They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. Undercrunch.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 11 yards there, first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll try to throw here. Rivers. He'll get this to Eckler. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First down.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Hunter Henry, and that'll bring up second down.
Hit 180. Black 11. Red Delta. White 89.
Back to the ground now with Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
And it's third down.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. He was trying to get that back to Allen, and this should be the final play before the quarter ends. First down, Rivers. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number one. No score after one on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. To throw again. Rivers looking middle, and it's incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. 3rd down here.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On 3rd down, Rivers completes it to Benjamin. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 20-yard line. From the red zone now, Rivers. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. Still on his feet. And he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Partner, we've seen Melvin Gordon do it a variety of ways running the football. How about that last run? Had a little shake and bake to it there, didn't he?
He did.
Kind of reminded me of when he was at Wisconsin and what he did in Nebraska. His last year there, 408 yards in a single game. At that time, that was the NCAA rushing record, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then a week later, Samaje Perine broke his record with 427 yards against Kansas.
Hey, 79!
Now it's a bootleg with Rivers. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, you got to get moving, man. Man moving. You got to get that. Alert! Buzz! March 49! March 49!
Out of the gun, Stafford. James has got it, complete. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing Rivers. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
All right, run 80.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Off the bootleg. Rivers. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Watch the screen. Watch out.
Now Rivers going to give it off to Gordon. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
Rivers on 3rd and 2. Open man, it's Allen. Touchdown, L.A. Keenan Allen with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Good one, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season.
Hey, Echo.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Looking downfield, and the defense loses him. It's complete. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones his second touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. They go play action here on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
On second down, it's Gordon. It's a first down and more for Gordon. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. To throw is Rivers. And he rifles one incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Running left, it's Gordon on the toss. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Still 180. Plus the right. 390. Check right, check right. Hey, check 24.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. Nifty move by Gordon. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
380. Cluster.
Both over to Mike. Mike's both over.
Mike, stay hot.
Rivers now to throw on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
Check 26. Leroy.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
Switch.
Omaha, ready, move.
49, guys. Mike.
Greystone, travel.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want it.
Here's Stanford. And he hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Stafford now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
You got nothing.
Stafford now to throw. Screenplay, Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a first down or more. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
24 yards. That's another Detroit Lions.
Lady!
First and 10 at the 42-yard
Big 20! Hey, easy, easy!
Motion to the backfield. 49. 49's the mic. 49's the mic. Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
Big 20!
49.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Boom! That's how we do it, baby.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Hey, easy, easy! Recon, 132 fighter!
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set! Black 11! Hey, Rocket!
It's going to be a long day. He's trying to
On first down, Gordon. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Red!
Let's go.
52
On play action, Rivers. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So it's 3rd and long for the Chargers and Rivers after the sack. From the gun, Rivers. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
happening before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
I got you.
Back to throw, Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's James. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Let him know. He's coming.
40 got. 57. Mike, 57.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Desmond King making the tackle. Nice job there on the tackle, keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Drill right. 22.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hawkinson.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. He's got his tight end over the middle. T.J. Hawkinson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
8 yards on the pickup.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Hey, 70.
Here's Stafford. That is caught at the 7. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 16 yards, a first down.
16 yards.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
53. Ready.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. If you're thinking of a comeback here, you go to 2016. That's when Stafford had an NFL record 8 fourth-quarter comebacks. But last year, despite playing all 16 games, he had 0. Now it's Stafford. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal.
Just like that.
Again, it's Stafford. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on third and goal? Stafford looks to throw again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as they can now even this game here in the fourth quarter with the extra point. A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Damon Harrison. What an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Now Rivers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. It's a gain of 5 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Check 390. Hey, Brown 80. That's not good. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
And that's complete to the right side. It's Allen. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Hey, easy.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time. And now it's 3rd down.
Set. 180. Hey, it's coming up. Hey, let's go.
Now Stafford. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the 4th quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they miss that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them.
There goes Melvin Gordon. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are going to retake the lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long...
That's caught inside the 20. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
6-man. Check curl. 11. Hey. 49's the mic. Watch 49. 10.
Throwing is Stafford. That's to his running back, Kerryon Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. They find some open field here. They give him a gain of 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Easy. Hurry.
They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's James. Oh, no, he lost the football.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. It's caught. Jones. And he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 13-yard line. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They come out here in the eye. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson in the final minute. And they have taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Let's go, baby. The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Here we go.
He's back to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Now the Chargers will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
No, check that. Wait, 89.
He'll look to throw. And it's complete. Henry, a gain of 22. And he'll stop it with a spike here with 7 seconds left on the clock.
Black 15!
52. Hey, it's getting that home. 52. Block 52. 52's the mic.
Left right.
Get that ball. 52's the mic. Watch Mike. Watch Mike.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Small.
Back to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Hey. You got 3. You got 1.
One last shot now for Rivers. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Lions, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for our visitors, they'll fall to 1-1. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
All I ever do is ball, man. I am not a rapper, they all lame. I am not dope, I'm hard. Wait, I can power up and level up at any moment.